It is the 21st of August, 1930. In a historic moment for the British royal family, Princess Margaret Rose is born at Glamis Castle in Scotland, beginning what will prove to be one of the most captivating and tragic lives in modern royal history. As the younger daughter of the Duke and Duchess of York, Margaret's early years are filled with privilege and expectation. Yet, no one could have predicted the tumultuous path that lay ahead for this princess, forever destined to live in the shadow of her elder sister. Suddenly, in 1936, Margaret's world is turned upside down. Her uncle, King Edward VIII, abdicates the throne to marry the woman he loves, a divorced American named Wallis Simpson. In an instant, Margaret's father becomes King George VI, and her sister Elizabeth is thrust into the role of heir presumptive. The young princess, not yet 6 years old, finds herself caught in a whirlwind of change, duty, and royal expectation that will shape the rest of her life. As World War II engulfs Europe, Margaret and Elizabeth are moved to the relative safety of Windsor Castle. Here, away from the London Blitz, the princesses spend their formative years, their bond growing stronger even as their paths diverge. Elizabeth, ever dutiful, prepares for her future role as queen. Margaret, spirited and vivacious, begins to carve out her own identity in the royal spotlight. In the post-war years, Princess Margaret blossoms into a true royal fashion icon. Her beauty, charm, and sense of style captivate the British public and the international press. She embraces a more glamorous and modern lifestyle than her sister, attending parties, smoking cigarettes, and cultivating a circle of artistic and bohemian friends. Yet, beneath the glittering surface, Margaret struggles with the constraints of her royal role and the growing realization that she will always be second to her sister in the eyes of the monarchy and the nation. The defining moment of Margaret's life comes in the early 1950s, when she falls deeply in love with Group Captain Peter Townsend, a divorced war hero who serves as an equerry to her father. Their relationship, initially kept secret, becomes public knowledge during Queen Elizabeth II's coronation in 1953. A sharp-eyed reporter notices Townsend tenderly brushing a piece of lint from Margaret's coat, an intimate gesture that speaks volumes. The revelation of their love affair sends shockwaves through the royal establishment and the Church of England. As a divorcee, Townsend is considered an unsuitable match for the Queen's sister. Margaret finds herself torn between her heart and her duty to the crown. The public, captivated by this real-life royal romance, largely supports the couple. Yet, the pressure from the church, government, and royal advisers proves insurmountable. In 1955, after years of agonizing deliberation, Margaret makes the heartbreaking decision to end her relationship with Townsend. In a statement that would haunt her for the rest of her life, she declares, "Mindful of the Church's teaching that Christian marriage is indissoluble, and conscious of my duty to the Commonwealth, I have resolved to put these considerations before any others." The emotional toll of this sacrifice is immense. Margaret retreats from public life, her vibrant spirit dimmed by duty and disappointment. The world watches as the once vivacious princess struggles to find her place in a royal family that seems to have no room for her dreams of personal happiness. In a surprising turn of events, Margaret announces her engagement to photographer Antony Armstrong-Jones in 1960. Their wedding, the first royal nuptials to be televised, captures the imagination of the public. For a brief moment, it seems that Margaret has found her fairy tale ending. The couple, later given the titles Earl and Countess of Snowdon, welcome to children, David, Viscount Linley, and Lady Sarah. Yet the marriage soon reveals itself to be far from idyllic. Both Margaret and Armstrong-Jones engage in extramarital affairs. their relationship marred by resentment and fundamental differences in lifestyle and temperament. The princess, once again, finds herself trapped in a role that fails to bring her the happiness and fulfillment she craves. As the years pass, Margaret's public image becomes increasingly complex. She is labeled the party princess, known for her love of nightlife, cigars, and alcohol. The tabloids revel in her scandals, while paparazzi hound her every move. To the public, she embodies both the glamour and the excess of royal privilege. Yet, those close to her see a woman struggling under the weight of expectations and unfulfilled potential. The stark contrast between Margaret and her sister, Queen Elizabeth II, becomes ever more apparent. While the Queen dedicates herself to duty and stability, Margaret seems to rebel against the very institution that defines her existence. Their relationship, once so close, becomes strained by the divergent paths their lives have taken. In 1978, Margaret and Armstrong-Jones divorce, marking the first divorce of a senior royal since Henry VIII. This personal failure, played out on the world stage, deepens Margaret's sense of isolation and disappointment. She retreats further into a lifestyle of indulgence, seeking solace in parties and exotic holidays. As Margaret enters her later years, the consequences of her choices become painfully evident. Years of heavy smoking take their toll, leading to multiple strokes and severe lung problems. The once vibrant princess becomes increasingly frail, her public appearances growing rare and marked by visible illness. Despite her health struggles, Margaret's relationship with her sister remains a constant, if complex, presence in her life. The Queen, bound by duty and protocol, can offer little public comfort to her suffering sister. Yet behind palace walls, their bond endures, a testament to the shared experiences of their extraordinary lives. On February 9, 2002, Princess Margaret passes away at the age of 71. Just weeks before the death of her mother, the Queen Mother, in a final break with tradition, Margaret becomes the first royal to be cremated. Since Princess Louise in 1939, her ashes are interred in the King George VI Memorial Chapel at Windsor Castle, reuniting her in death with the parents whose unexpected ascension to the throne had so profoundly shaped her life. As the world reflects on the life of Princess Margaret, a more sympathetic view of her struggles emerges. No longer simply the rebel princess, she is seen as a tragic figure, a woman of great potential, bound by duty and denied the personal freedoms that so many take for granted. Her story becomes a poignant reminder of the personal sacrifices demanded by the monarchy and the often cruel spotlight of public life. In the end, Princess Margaret's legacy is one of complexity and contradiction. She embodied the changing face of the British monarchy in the 20th century, pushing boundaries even as she remained bound by tradition. Her life serves as a cautionary tale of the perils of royal privilege, and the heavy price of putting duty before personal happiness. As Britain and the world continue to evolve, the story of Princess Margaret, beautiful, tragic, and forever in the shadow of the crown, remains a fascinating chapter in the ongoing saga of the British royal family.